we go. We're good. Okay.
Back. Sorry about that.
Sorry, guys. We're learning curve.
Galentine, she said.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, so we all know what it is. It is a commercialized holiday that celebrates love. But we are off.
It says on mine we're live.
It says
live, but with zero people.
The viewers.
Yeah, because it got kicked. I think it kicked out, and then they'll come back.
That's weird.
Okay.
All right.
That's weird.
Let's keep going.
So anywho.
Yeah.
So anyways, we know it's commercial and all of that. But I also describe Valentine's as low-hanging fruit. You know, it's made so easy for almost anybody to celebrate the love that's in their life.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Like when I say and low-hanging fruit is birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and whatever days that you have in whatever culture you or community you belong to. It's low-hanging fruit. But as in for everybody, it's low-hanging fruit as in, you know, I'm in the self-checkout line at Walmart on 137, and I can literally reach over the barrier and grab flowers. Or I can get little mementos and little things that in normal times you'd have to search a little bit more for. So while it's overrated, it's also really easy. And
that's true.
When I hear people talk about Valentine's Day and they're like, "Oh, every day is Valentine's Day,"
right?
Or I don't rate Valentine's Day. My question then is, especially to dudes, is like, okay, but are you doing those kind of things
every day or every other day? Or every month, or every
non-low-hanging fruit days, are you still doing it? Because if you're not, just use Valentine's Day because it's an easy one, you know?
Right, exactly.
Because anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to say use it as an excuse, because at the end of the day, like, it is your choice whether you decide to partake. But you made a valid point, like, when you're gonna counter that and say, oh, well, every day is Valentine's Day. Okay, well, then what are you doing? You know, they're like 364 days of the year. Like, what are you doing to show? And the thing is, too, I feel like so many people get so caught up in the whole romantic side of things and whether or not you have a significant other. And again, in my opinion, Valentine's Day is not just about, you know,
people
romantic
with
or intimate. Right, exactly. Like you said, you did stuff for your kids. I did something for my mom. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like people who tend to make that sort of comment kind of view Valentine's Day strictly as a more like intimate, sort of romantic, in a romantic sense. So
I really like the idea of you doing making it a self-charity. I think that's dope.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. And I mean, I
saw some memes. I saw memes where it's like, if you got a partner on Valentine's Day, I hope y'all fall off the bed. I'm like, jeez.
Some people are really bitter, though. And don't get me wrong, you know, especially during a time like this, if you were lonely pre-COVID, when you see people celebrating these sorts of things, you know, I mean, it can be a little hard for some.
It's a little, I get it.
I don't know. Yeah. I love to see love, so especially if it's done right.
Same.
So I'm like, that's dope. And I hope that, you know, maybe one day I will get to experience that. What? I'm just saying. I'm keeping it real, right? So.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So for those that are watching, how did you guys spend Valentine's Day? Were you just stuck in your house? I know restaurants were open. So did anyone go out? I don't know if you guys can look at the comments for me because I don't have that luxury right now.
Ooh, every day is not Valentine's Day. That's a cop-out, I think. It's an extra day to be sweet on yourself or someone else. Any opportunity to do that is a plus to me. That's what Aisha says. That's dope. I fully agree.
And I agree.
Dope, I agree. Dope. Yeah, for sure.
Great take.
I agree with that.
For sure.
For sure.
Liana.
I'm pretty sure your mom
Okay,
is
fine.
watching. Did she appreciate what you did for her?
Oh yeah, she
Kiana?
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't see it coming. And
Okay.
I'm just I think I may have mentioned this in a previous episode that we did. I love the element of surprise, and I like doing little things for, the people that I care about.
Yeah.
So yeah, she really enjoyed what I did for her. So, and I enjoyed what I did for myself.
That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
So we did a trial run last week, and Tim, you had an interesting question about relationships. If both parties should have a degree.
Oh, it was basically like how important is education? How important is like
Right.
education as in the how do you say it? The
Like within a
Western
relationship.
civilization definition of education. Like how important is that to you guys, and like just extending that out to everybody that's watching? Like, is that something that if should they be at the same level as you? Does that matter to you? Thoughts on that from you guys?
One thing, Kendra, can you move your seat over just a tad?
Oh, I can try
Sorry.
to. Let's see here. Is that
Yeah, that
better?
works. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that works. To me,
Again, work in progress.
work in progress. We're figuring this out. To
We'll
me,
figure it out, yeah.
it doesn't matter to me, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay. So when you're, I don't know, I guess talking to different individuals, looking at potential significant others, and you have your checklist, you don't have, I guess, a category that says, hey, like they need to have X, Y, Z, like,
Yeah,
and when it
It's
comes
not-
to like education or anything like that.
it's not even in there.
Alrighty.
I don't know.
What about you, Tim?
Or how about, yeah.
It's not a big deal to me. Like
Okay.
the
It's not a
pieces
deal
of
breaker.
paper, because I know some people that I've seen doctors that I think are idiots.
That's
you
true.
know, so
Educated donkeys.
it's more.
as we
It's
call them.
I in regards to the definition of education that you would like get from your standard Canadian person, then I would say no. But it is impressive. Like as a guy, it's a little bit different too.
Why is that?
Okay.
It's just because that doesn't, when it comes to, oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Okay, when it comes to her role in my life, you know, I'm not. It likely doesn't add to the things that I love about a woman. Do you know
Okay.
what I mean?
That's fair.
I do love like someone I can have a great conversation with, and there's people who have degrees and don't have
And carry
degrees,
a conversation.
but yeah, like
Right.
there's some people who have degrees and have a really good a grasp of life and things. I do find that when all those other checkmark boxes are ticked, and then they have the education and the big job and the stuff, it does really just bolster the package, let's say. But especially another thing too,
Like
at my
cherry on top.
at my age too, yeah, like it's not as important as in somebody I can really get along with, somebody who there's other things down the line. There's other things down the line.
Okay.
Okay. How about you, Keanu?
But again, education, like I said, there's some people who have degrees, but they don't know anything. You know,
Right,
they able to study out a piece of paper. And if you show them concepts and ideas, critical thought, not there. So
Right.
what does it matter,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And if you see how much I yap,
Or
and
like
and
common sense.
and
type things.
my interest that is in so many different things, like, maybe an education would help with having
We're
good
getting some
conversations
googly
here.
eyes. Not sure why
Yeah.
down in the comments, but
Hold on, what's going on here?
okay. I'd say for me, it's important to an extent. Like
Okay.
for instance, like I have a university degree. If I were to get involved with someone, does that mean that they necessarily have to have a university degree? No.
Right.
Definitely there would have to be some sort of common ground because I don't know, like if I'm talking about a certain topic or using certain words and stuff, and every 2 seconds it's like, hey, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what that means or whatever. And not to say that
Right.
I'd be shallow in the sense that I wouldn't be patient enough with that person to explain certain things to them. But yeah, there would have to be some sort of level, or I guess you could say standard,
Right.
when it comes to talking about certain topics that interest me. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, okay, so when I said being a guy versus being a girl, and let me show my old school traditional thinking or common sense, not sure which one, but uh, yeah, most of our communities, like Black communities, the man is still a provider, or he's still expected to. And if you're in Alberta, for the most part, like education and your wage are tied together. Like, this isn't like it's very few times in Edmonton you hear about that person that, they started in the mailroom and now they're like the district manager. Like, that doesn't happen here. It's,
Right.
that's as much education as you have. Okay, that's as much money as you're going to make. And so being in a position like that, and of
I
course
think
we
it
do have
depends
the
on the
trades,
field, but I get what you're saying for sure.
but we do have the trades here where people can make decent money. But even at that, like, you're still getting tickets. You're still having to. There's still education there, so
Right.
it would matter how you would define education, because I don't have a degree, you know.
And you
So,
have a decent job, and you've had one for an
oh shoot,
extended amount of
this
time.
September is going to be 17 years. I've been at the same job,
Wow.
but
Nice.
and that's a blessing. That really is a blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
But I could see I would hope that, like, if you're looking for a man, I need him to have a degree. I would hope you would have one too, right?
Exactly.
Like the 4'11" that wants the 6'5" guy. I think it's kind of weird, and it's the same thing.
I'm just gonna read a comment here.
Yeah.
Tanya said, not a deal breaker, may be an indicator for communication. Can be educated and socially awkward. Not educated, but socially agile. And that's true. I mean,
Socially
definitely
agile.
I like how you worded that, actually. Socially agile.
Yeah.
Also, we need to move away from the notion that education is limited to school. A person well-traveled will have a wealth to share, absent of a degree. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because there's just some lessons and things that you learn just through experience and everyday life that you would never learn in school, right? That you can be able to apply, like, in different areas of your life. So yeah, it's true. Education doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the perfect partner, or you're going to understand all the ins and outs of the world and how things work. So I'm sticking to an extent.
Yeah.
It matters to an extent, but there's so
Yeah.
many factors that play into that.
Yeah. For
That's
sure.
right. And I think that ambition and certain competencies and aptitude will do somebody well regardless of where they are. There's some people that they're just not like scholastic in that way.
Right.
They're not. You sit them down in a university and they may flunk out, but you give them something to build. You give them a team to lead. You show them a pile of scrap and they'll turn it into something, and they could turn that into something viable, something profitable, and I think that's really important, really important.
Yeah.
And
There's
education
another.
doesn't necessarily denote if you will be able to write and if you'll be able to speak. And according to one of my favorite mentors, people I listen to in the world, being able to write, being able to speak makes you absolutely deadly, regardless of your education level.
Right.
Go ahead, Kiki.
No, there was just another comment here. Personally, I don't think degrees determine one's intelligence, personality, or good character in general, nor does it guarantee wealth. And I think that kind of ties into what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That also, while we're talking about this, I don't know if you guys have heard of Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
It's a guy on Instagram that at first it sounded like he was bashing females because
Right.
they wanted someone that had like the money,
Oh!
that had higher
Oh,
value.
gosh, that guy. Oh,
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
whole
So when
other
you guys talked
conversation
about that,
itself.
yeah. So
That's
when you guys
crazy.
brought that up, I was just like,
Mhm.
that almost because he went live last night, and this girl was just like, I need someone that's well educated, that has a good job, that has money, and he just asked her, "Do you have all that?" And he was
Come
just
on
like,
now.
she was just like,
Actually, did you see there
no.
was a video of what's her? Is it B Simone? Her name is.
B
She's
Simone.
like,
Yes, I saw that.
yes, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
kind of touched on that
Yeah.
a few days ago. She
Yeah.
was saying like all the things that you're looking for in a significant other, like what are you bringing to the table? Like,
Exactly.
are you bringing those things to the table? And I think that's a very valid point. Like a lot of times you hear people list all these things like you got to be this, you got to be this, you got to be this, you got to be this,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
But
well,
what do you bring?
what are you adding to that equation,
100%.
Exactly.
right? So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
Any more
you
But
said his
comments?
name's Kevin.
but even at that is still very, that whole thing where a female will look at men and require something. That's still that's still nature.
Yes,
But
for sure.
our society is kind of, it's being nurtured away from that, but it still is nature.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the day, if she gets pregnant, you know what I mean? She's a man that can hold it down.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's some people that make $200,000 a year, but they have what?
High school.
There's that, but I mean, they have limited mat leave, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the States, right? They have limited mat leave, 6 weeks or something like that. And if the child needs extra care or whatever, you're looking at dude like, hey, the kid needs me, and
Right.
she's like, the kid needs me and what I can do. So you got to be out there doing what you can do, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say still that a woman is very wise.
Right.
Very wise to look at a man and be like, hey, you need to, or I'm going to pick you based on some of these factors. Like, I don't necessarily look for all those factors because, I just don't. Like, I don't need her to be rich. I don't need her to have all these things because if life spares, I want to be that. This one minister at my church, he said, you do all your business on, even if both of y'all are working, you do all your business on your salary, because if for whatever reason Make she can't work, doesn't need to work, something's up. You know, at least as a man, I know that sounds probably pretty archaic to some, but to me, it's good advice.
Okay.
It's good advice. So other people could chime in on what they think of that, but I thought that was good advice. Because if you're making all your moves and then there's something's up with your child,
Right.
and in my experience, as involved as a father as I've been, there's certain things in that first few years of life. It's very much mom. It's very much it's very much mom. And even if for me, even regardless of my my willingness, there was things that she wanted to do. Right. So if things hit the fan, I would still have to be able to provide. And it was funny when we were, and I know I'm taking up a bunch of the time, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I remember when we first met, and I introduced her to one of my best friends who was actually my boss. I went to the bathroom, and she asked him what my work ethic was like. She asked him what I was like as an employer, as an employee to work with, right? And it was funny.
Yeah.
She never once asked me how much I made, but she wanted to know what I was like as a worker.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And looking back, I was she was.
It's a valid question, because how you are at work is how you are in life.
And my kids, barring anything crazy, my kids will never starve, because I look at it as that's my responsibility. Anyways, somebody else.
So
it's hold on, there's a comment that just came in. It's a solid tip for women. Set yourself up in a position that you can cover basics absent of a man's salary. That's merely based on job insecurity for men in our current climate.
So she's basically saying have a secret account. Just kidding.
I mean, if you want to, if that's what you're saying, I mean.
But what if the woman was the breadwinner in the relationship, and let's say you both worked, but she was the breadwinner, and something happened with one of the kids, or God forbid, one of them got sick, or for some reason one of the parents had to stay home. For a man, do you think they'd be like, I'm the man, so I want to be the one who keeps working, and then you're missing out on, I guess you could say, that financial stability because you feel like the woman should be the one who should stay home with the kids? Like, how do you feel about that, Tim?
Lord, I would be. I've never been in that position, but as traditional as I am, right? I still think that things are based on logic, logistics, well, similar, and aptitude, right? If let's say I'm sitting in a job that I'm like, that's all right, and then she's at a job that she absolutely loves, right? And she was amiable with going to work. To me, it would not make me feel less of a man. It wouldn't. I know that's the struggle for some men, but that wouldn't be me. But I definitely would discuss time frames. It's like, how long is this thing going to go for?
Right.
Story time again. So at work, there was a guy that worked. He worked in the custom side.
Okay.
His wife was a doctor. They had children. They had a newborn. So our mat leave is 93%. Hers was 55. So they worked it out. So it would make more sense for him to stay to do the mat leave and her to go back to work after 3 months. So she did the first 3, and then he did the last 9.
Wow.
So we were, and they had 2 kids, and they did that the same way. Fast forward, now the kids are the kids are 4 and 5, 6 or whatever. And he said that he's facing resentment at home
Huh.
because where it's usually mommy, 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 at
Mm-hmm.
home it's daddy, 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 because he
Yeah.
was there for that
He was the
time.
one who was around.
He was the tuck
Right.
into bed. He was the bottle guy. He was the this and the that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he said there was like she opened up and said like she resented the relationship that he
Wow.
had with the kids,
Right.
Wow.
and I took that kind of as a oh. It
Mm-hmm.
was
Right.
funny when Josiah was born. I took we shared that I took 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks together of mat leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was somewhere in the middle, and I took 2 weeks, and then so she had 2 weeks less at the end. Yo, when Asa was being born, she's like, "No, we ain't doing that. 2 weeks, we ain't, no, we're not doing that again." You know.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So that's a great point. What Tanya said here. Men often work riskier jobs where rates of injury is higher. That's a really, but oh Lord. See, now
I
that's another
agree.
thing.
Okay.
That's another thing in regards to the pay gap that does exist at times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you decide that you want to catch lobster in the rough waters in Alaska, you're gonna get paid fairly well,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
That's
certain
true.
of those jobs that's just the reality. But again, I
Yeah.
feel like those things are going. They're dwindling. We're really
Mm-hmm.
dwindling. We are not in a manufacturing. This isn't the 50s, 60s, 70s. Alberta's an outlier when it comes to
Oh, of
those
course.
kinds of jobs.
Oh,
Right.
of
And
course.
even at that, look at where we're at right now. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
people
Exactly.
have been
Yeah.
never been unemployed. Have been unemployed for months.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
So
some other comments that came through. So it says, haha, sounds like a hater, lol. I'm all for fathers staying home with kids. I think times are changing. There's mothers who stay now. The first 6 months of mat leave, and more fathers want and are taking their paternity leave for the later half of it.
okay, you could say that it's a hater. I get it, but that's also nature. Like she's a mom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's social conditioning in there too. When
Right.
everybody's imagine you went out to a party and they're hanging off their mom, but they're hanging off dad, and she's standing there with like a dad. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you want. She wants to go in and tuck the kids in. Daddy do it. Daddy do. Like, can you imagine? Right?
Yeah.
Because in her mind, she's gonna be like, "Yo, I carried you. I did the
Yeah.
work."
Yeah.
But
Right.
now he's all soaked up. But usually the carrying is usually attached to the nurturing. But in that
Right.
situation, the memorable nurturing, okay. But the like a lot of the nurturing that they were experienced came from dad. So there was a role reversal there. And
Right.
I could totally see that happening. Like the
Yeah.
relationship I have
And you
with
can
my kids, I
see,
think it
and
has
I
a
guess you
lot
could say
to do.
sympathize with both sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
even the relationship I have with my kids has a lot to do with the fact that my ex worked shift work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Mm.
I come home from work, she's heading out the door, and it's just me
Mhm.
and the kids, and it was like
Right.
that for
Right.
years. So I'm not like Disneyland dad where you go and you play, send them to bed, and that's all you got. But you're actually there. You're the one that's in the middle of the night and all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
I
There's
think
just
that I
another.
think that dads definitely do need to do more of that because the kids need that energy. But that's a
Right.
whole
Yeah.
other conversation.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another quick comment here before we switch topics here.
Yeah.
It says, so in Japan, 95% of women strive to live the
To live the
housewife
housewife
lifestyle.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Now there is a trade-off where 100% of the husband's salary goes to wife, and she can also call up HR to confirm the money coming home is right. How do you feel about that?
Funny enough, I watched something and it kind of explained it. I can't remember what I was watching some documentary, and it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't agree with calling HR to confirm all that money's coming home.
I feel like that's a
But
bit much. And I
that's a
don't feel
bit
like that
much,
will
yeah.
ever fly in North America.
Not here.
But
Yeah, that would never fly here. But
Okay, if you're together, no. If you're breaking up or you have children together and you're doing the thing, look, she'll know every single cent, every single everything.
well, yeah, of course.
It's
And
called a
that,
notice to disclose.
yes.
yeah,
But
for sure.
but like the wife, to like, hey, just making sure that he said he was making
Casual
like
call to
how many yen? Can we just? Was it the yen?
my
Japanese
friendly
yen?
HR rep.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
That's funny.
that's power.
Yeah.
I still do
Right?
want to visit Japan.
So do I.
Still,
Yo, me
still
and you.
high on my list of places to visit. Maybe
My
too.
dad
one
lived
day.
there for 2 years. He
Really?
still
Really?
speaks a little bit of Japanese. Yeah, the things you can
That's
do
cool.
when you're not almost 92 in 92 years of life.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. So, next topic is, I don't know if you guys heard about this thing called Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
No.
Clubhouse? It's
I'll be
like-
honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You'll be honest. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, to be honest with you, I still don't know much about it. I just know that it's invite only. It's
Yeah.
a new social platform. I've seen a lot of celebrities talking about it, and it's a lot of buzz. And I think because it's invite only, people are like, "What's up with this app?" I did get an invite for Clubhouse, actually.
Okay. Who
yeah.
can we ask who invited you?
It was just a friend of mine. It was just a girlfriend of
okay.
mine. She
Okay.
got an invite and she was like, "Yo, check this thing out." I actually didn't, but she did a little snooping and spying for me.
Nice.
Personally, I still think it's kind of weird. I still really don't get it. But I heard that it's a neat place to do networking and stuff like that. But I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so many other apps that you can do that on.
Yeah. So this
but who
app
knows?
is, you're more connected to celebrities with this
Right.
app. So if you're like a singer and you want to get into the business, you can talk to like, I don't know, Brandy, because she's on it.
Right.
You can talk to Brandy and just kind of see her experience and how she got into it and all that stuff. So it's kind of a one step closer to getting more info of about what you want to do in your life. Yeah.
I hear you.
So
I hear
you
ya.
got an invite.
So you said you get to interact with celebrities, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
So this is kind of like the PG rated OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
it's more business based. Yeah.
Right,
It's more
okay.
business based. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now I know.
And
Now
it's only, I think it's only inclusive to people with Apple products. So
Oh, okay.
because I
That's
tried
maybe
looking
why
for
I
it,
got it.
and
So if I try to send you, I know you don't have like any Apple products. So if I try to send you an invite, it probably won't work.
I won't
then,
get it.
is what you're saying?
Yeah, I won't get
Weird.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's
They'll make a
interesting what the
concession
world
for
we
me.
live in.
What do you say, Tim?
I said they'll make a concession for me.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm sure at some point it probably will pick up like everything else, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe that'll be the new popping thing this summer. Never know.
We'll see. Invite only social media is old stuff. Been doing that in Asia since 2005. Not a big deal. Okay.
Hey, well, there you go.
We are 20 years behind Japan.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I want to hear some Greg Japan stories. Like I really do. We have to have
And
him
I've
as a
always
guest.
wanted to visit, so
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to hear some of your stories one day, Greg.
Greg,
I was
how long have you been in Japan for? That's a question you should ask. How long were you visiting?
How did that start?
Yeah.
You know what? We should just rewrite that down, and then we should have him on to do like a black in somewhere like little segment.
Yeah, for sure. I actually know a few people. I knew a few athletes that I know one that plays basketball in, I think, in Japan.
Wow, lived there.
And I know
10 years.
yeah.
Lived there for 10 years. Wow.
Wow.
So
May I
you're
ask
fluent
what you
then in Japanese.
may I ask what you were doing there in Japan, Greg? Is that a fair question? So while we're waiting for Greg's answer, what did you guys think of the Gorilla Glue girl? Was it Tessica Brown? What was your
Tessica
first thought when you?
Brown.
Yeah. What was your first instinct when you heard that story?
Well, the first thing I thought is like, why did Keandra tell her to put the Gorilla Glue in her hair? Like,
I don't know. No, honestly, when I first saw the video, I didn't find it funny. Initially, I was a little confused. I'll be honest, because I'm like, is this real? Like,
Right.
I was like, you know, is she clout chasing? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when she was like, no, like I haven't been able to wash my hair for 15 days or whatever she said, and I was like, okay. And then it went on the back burner in my brain, and then started seeing the video more and more, and I'm like, huh, okay. And then you start seeing memes and stuff, and people kind of got invested in the story, and I was like, then when the memes and stuff started, you know, I guess you could say, I found it a little comedic, but then there was a part of me that felt, I guess you could say, like sympathy for her. Like I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like as you kind of saw how the story progressed, I was like, wow, like this was a mistake. You know what I mean? I genuinely don't think, I don't know. I genuinely don't think if she knew that she would have gone through all the things that she's gone through in the last month and a bit, or however long she was in the situation, that she really wouldn't have done that, right?
Yeah, but it says right on the can.
Okay, it seems like you got a different perspective. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts.
At first, I thought it was a joke. At first, I was like you. Okay, she's trying to get clout. Like this is not real. And then I saw, like, I was literally following the story because I thought it was a joke. Then the next day, I see another video with her trying to wash her hair. So I was like, oh, crap. She really did put Gorilla Glue in her hair. Then it got me thinking, it says right on the can, do not put on skin. Like, it literally says it right on the can.
Wait a minute. It says right on the can what?
Like, don't put on skin. Don't put it on, there's like a whole list right on the can or bottle, whatever.
A reason. Sorry, I'm just
reading. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay. What are we waiting for? What's going on?
Who reaches for glue to put in their hair? I'm sorry. She's dumb as hell.
I agree. Well, here's the next thing.
Okay.
There is something called Gorilla Glue, but it is just for your hair.
And I was going to say, there's something called Gorilla Snot that's very popular. Yeah. It's like a hold. You know, you can make sure your edges are all on fleek and whatnot. So maybe she thought, and I mean, for that product, they have a gorilla on it, same way. So maybe she genuinely thought like it was a hair. I don't know. Because I would really like to have been like a fly on the wall when she went to the grocery store or wherever she went to, because like what aisle did you weren't walking down like the self-care aisle or the hair product aisle when you picked that up. So
exactly,
so many questions.
So many questions. And then on top of that, I saw 3 other videos that came out. One guy put Gorilla Glue on a red cup and stuck it to his lips.
That he did.
Then I was like, but what? And then there was another video where I think it was a guy that put it in his hair and tried to comb it out.
That was the most recent one that I saw. Did he have like pink hair or something? Or, they said his name was Reyes, and based on what I saw, they were calling him a female. But either way, let's take it back to the guy with the red cup.
Yeah,
that guy. To me, that is idiotic.
I was looking for my Gorilla Glue because I wanted to actually see.
It's on there.
Like I don't know why would he do that? Because he thought she was joking. even if
Yeah.
you thought she was joking, and she didn't actually put Gorilla Glue in her hair, why would you actually put that product
Thank you.
on your lips? Like, it just doesn't make sense to
Thank
me.
you.
Like, when I saw that,
Someone actually put it on their lips.
yes,
Yeah, I'll send you the
a
video.
red cup, like a solo
red
cup.
cup. A guy put it on the solo cup and put it towards his lips. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor was just literally looking at him, just like
confused. That's how, like, is why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Like, and then there was like some teen recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before, who plastered their head with Gorilla Glue and ended up like at the emergency room as well. And I'm just like, why? And again, no one felt sorry for this kid. They were like, you knew what you were doing. Like, you saw what Tessica went through, and you did this on purpose for views or likes or, as the young folk like to say, clout. That one, to be honest, I couldn't even watch the entire video. I was just like, this person is an idiot.
Yeah, neither did I.
Like, why would you do that?
Sorry, as I said, don't try this at home, because we will all look at you with a dumb look.
Just throw all of them away. Red Cup guys, goodness. Beyond dumb as hell. They should have cut his lips off at the ER. Okay, sorry.
Goodness.
Let's back up. It says, I heard she declined a whole bunch of help from a bunch of doctors when she realized she went viral, and she got a GoFundMe account to raise donations, and she got like tens of thousands of dollars. An interesting thing though, actually. What I had saw, I think she made, let's say, just under 25,000 or something. And actually, once she went to the latest doctor, and they were able to help her out and get it out.
He was quite cute, by the way.
Easy.
Do you remember what his full name was? I feel so bad. We should know. I
can't remember his full name, but he's from Ghana.
Okay. And I thought his approach to it was so brilliant, like using his chemist background, to figure out how to break down the components in the glue. I thought that was dope.
No,
when
honestly,
I read it,
the first thing I said was go get some Goo Gone, put it in her hair, and I'm telling you, and you just literally comb this stuff out. Goo Gone.
It didn't work for her. It didn't work for her.
She used acetone. She used
only because she had it in her hair. She had it in her hair for like just over a month. So that stuff didn't work for her.
Have you ever tried to remove a label, like a paper label off something?
Yes.
I gave up after a while.
Listen, Goo Gone turns out. Listen. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dr. Michael Obang.
Yes.
Dr. Michael Obang
is
his name.
I follow him on Instagram, by the way.
Look at you came up with that quick.
She's like blushing. She's blushing.
Wait, he did? Hold on. He did a live liposuction today. That was interesting.
Yo, that guy's blowing up now.
He's an eligible bachelor for Danielle's.
No more.
He's taken. Danielle went in. She's trying to scoop him up.
It's okay.
That's hilarious.
Baby oil didn't actually. I just saw a comment from Des. Baby oil didn't work for her because she tried that as well.
She tried coconut oil, tea tree oil. There's so many things, and like the thing that celebrities were so invested and willing to help her out. But my thing is, when she made the GoFundMe, a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's just doing this for money." Blah yada yada yada. When Dr. Obang helped her and got the glue out, I had read, like, I think a few days after that, she was actually going to donate majority of the money.
Yeah, she donated $20,000 to the
charity.
Charity that Dr. Obang.
Right, something to do with like plastic surgery or something like that. And I was like, you know what? Dope.
Sorry, I don't rate that. Sorry.
No.
You want to know why? Because one appearance fee is gonna get that, because that's where she's set up for now.
She already has merch.
Well, that's just it,
has merch.
Right? But my thing is, people like were upset and like, you better give people their money back. But I'm like, you're upset when she made the GoFundMe. You're upset that she
gave her money,
giving the money away to you. Like, what do you want from her? Like,
You
I don't
you
know.
gave her the money, so what are you upset for?
Yeah.
And like
Well,
he
this is the
offered to
world.
do this
This
surgery
is the
for
world
free.
we live in.
Exactly.
Maybe she
This
should
is the world
start
we live
charity
in.
for
Like,
stupidity. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is the world we live in.
I hear you,
It's all
Daddy.
about.
He's fine as hell. Okay.
See, I know,
you,
I know,
you
I know what
like
I'm
you.
talking about.
Sensationalism is the emperor of all now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's true.
Like this girl will literally, and people like that will take up the attention of the public for how long?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, remember, see on my page when I posted about the girl with the bricks, made the bricks out of the
The plastic.
she should be viral. That should be
She
viral,
should.
I
right?
agree.
But some girl puts Gorilla Glue in her hair and creates a brick, and everybody knows.
But that's the kind of thing that society unfortunately strives off of.
That's
Like
where
no one
we're at
cares
now.
about the geniuses that we have and people who are implementing, different things to make our world a better place. They care about, the dumb stuff.
I think there's a climate for, you know what? There's other people out there stupider than me. Let's look at them.
Yes, exactly.
Of course.
And especially during a time like this, during a pandemic, when people are already taking a lot of different aspects of life so harshly, they love that sort of escape. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they it's unfortunate to say they like to see people, I guess you could say, doing worse off than them, especially during a time like this.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
My camera's overheating, yo.
That's okay.
What you say?
Okay. We can. Yeah,
like we said, this is a work in progress. We're just back to be here doing this, and hanging out with you guys. And
can you let us know
what
we need to improve on?
Yes, please. Comments. I know my camera view needs to be a little better. I feel like I've been cut off majority of the night, but
that's okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I don't want to stay on here too long, but there's two. I don't know if we want to talk about the two topics that we had planned. But there's two things that happened recently. The bricks thing that Tim just talked about, and the robot, Sophia the robot.
Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, that was
are these topics that you want to get into tonight, or do we want to?
Well, you know what? I would like to hear how people feel about AI in artificial intelligence.
Or we can get the conversation going.
AI robots, like humanoid robots. How do you what do you feel about that? Is that something that scares you? Is that something you think it's a little bit weird, or do you think it's awesome?
I'm on the fence. I don't know if you guys saw the video of a self-driving car.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I don't know if I sent that to you,
lots
Tim.
of
There's...
I will own a Tesla one day. I will own a Tesla one day. Just because.
Yeah.
I think they're neat. I think they're cool.
Are you gonna have the car or the truck?
I don't want the truck. I like the SUV. The Model X. The Falcon, the Falcon doors and stuff. But anyways. Okay. Anyways, back to the topic on hand. AI intrigues me. It really does. But it's scary. It's scary. I will speak for my mother and say that she's probably not ever going to be an AI. I have my little Google Home Mini here, and she's not about it. I got the smart lights and stuff like that. She's like, I don't want any robots in my house, and get rid of them. So. And Mom, feel free to comment. I'm sure you're probably.
Yeah, no, she commented. She's like, no robots.
I know for a fact she's not about that. But there's a part of me that is very intrigued by that sort of thing. But I do feel like if it gets into the wrong hands, that would be a big issue. So, there would have to be a lot of limitations. I find with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Before they literally take the world over.
I was
waiting for that.
I was very surprised that my 12-year-old son is terrified by AI. I thought that these youngsters
would be into something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Tell
No.
them your take on AI.
Scary.
Why do you think
My
it's
kids are the
scary?
same way. My kids are the same way. They're like, no.
It's because when you showed me
I-
that thing of that,
I showed him Sophia.
yeah,
Oh.
that wasn't scripted. And
No, it wasn't.
That scared me. What is
I'm going to I'll post the latest Sophia video in the
On the
group
page?
here, and
Okay.
you'll see
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They had, so Sophia the robot. All right, you guys can dip now.
You had your
Bye,
moment. You
guys.
had your moment.
Yes.
Yes, good night.
2 minutes of fame.
Yeah, literally.
Now, so Sophia the robot had like fully like back and forth conversations with Will Smith, with a couple other people, like unscripted. This is just a robot talking to another
A human
human.
being.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
It's to me, it's pretty incredible. It is kind
Right.
of scary, but and I know a lot of people are gonna think that's like the mark of the beast or something like that. It's crazy.
Does she sound like a robot, or have they kind of worked on her speech? Like, does she sound kind of like a human being when she was having these
This is
conversations, or does she sound like very, like robotic and stuff?
Think about having a back and forth conversation with Siri.
With Siri, okay, and that's actually the example I was gonna give. Like, is it because they've improved a lot on like Siri, and like Google Help and those sorts of things. So
Right.
interesting.
Now,
I'll definitely have to check that out.
The having it in a humanoid is what is pretty scary. When I was for most people, when I was talking to Josiah about it, I was like, the AI that's in your video game, that's in all these, but when it's in a humanoid that can move and like they're making these ones. If you knock them down, they can get back up. That's like, like it's kind of terrifying.
Slap the gun out your hand and
right.
Yeah.
But the one that really was freaky was the one that the prototype for Google, like for the Google Assistant. Like
I saw that.
Yeah, the one where you could, hey, call the hairdresser for me, and then they can actually they use words like like sound you the other
like they're
person had
almost
no
like
clue.
thinking about it, like
Yes,
before
they
they do
had
the action.
the other person had no clue they were talking to a computer. Like
Wow.
that. Whew.
But
I'll
I mean,
post that video as
even
well.
a lot of these little like smart home hubs and stuff, they do that sort of thing now. Like they can order food for you. They can order your groceries. Like they play your music. They set your alarms, reminders.
It's almost like the Jetsons. The Jetsons is coming to life.
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like we're getting closer and closer to. Do you remember WALL-E, the movie WALL-E?
Yes.
Oh, that's my movie.
You needed the voice too.
Oh,
that's funny.
No, but yeah, like we're getting there where the computers are gonna do like everything, and we're gonna be fat in our little scooters.
I don't want that.
Oh,
I don't want that. Again, for me, there needs to be limitations. Like I love my Google Home Mini because she turns my lights on when I want her to. She sets the mood, right? She does.
Easy there.
And
Did you get a male voice for it too?
No.
Right?
No.
Oh,
I've never tried that. I think that's
you should.
But I don't know.
Okay, DeAndre, turn the lights on.
Whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, she turns my lights on and off, and she sets my alarms. And there's a lot more that I can do with it, but that's honestly the two main things that I like having it for: my alarms, or any sort of timers, and setting the mood, switching up my lights. Yeah.
I can't remember what car commercial I saw, but if you talk to your home device, whatever, it will start your car. I can't remember what car
It's
commercial it
getting
was.
pretty crazy. It's getting pretty crazy,
Yeah,
the things that
I
these
can't.
little
Yeah.
machines can do. I mean, living in
Yeah.
Alberta, if I had a car or whatever, and I'm like, yo, Google, start my car for me because it's minus 30
that would be
outside.
exhausting.
That's something that I would probably definitely
Yeah.
look into,
Yeah.
and would be totally fine with. But
Exactly.
again, it's just those limitations. And there's a comment here. It has to be sorry. I think it's the making it look like people that bothers me. Like I could handle it better maybe if it looked like R2D2 or Wally, which makes sense.
So like Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yes, you can hack AI.
Yeah. It has to be
Yes, you
smaller
can
than
hack
me.
AI.
Definitely.
It has to be smaller
Yeah.
than me and can't have human legs. I should be able to kick it over if it gets too smart and messes with me. No, I agree. Like again,
Yeah.
just think of iRobot if these things were like,
Get hacked.
yeah,
I'm gonna put this out there.
That's
human
the
sized
whole-
Can
dimensions.
hack into it.
That's the whole the 2019 Child's Play. The 2019 Child's Play, the Chucky doll is an AI an AI doll version of Alexa and Siri and Google
Still
Home.
gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
was
do I.
really well done.
So movie
I
night
can't
this
lie.
weekend?
Yes, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if Child's Play is the movie night movie.
it
but,
can be. Why not?
Why not?
Okay, all right, sure, I'm outnumbered.
He's thinking more. I think he's thinking more of like a Netflix and chill type vibe. So he's like, I don't want to watch
no.
Child's Play this weekend.
No.
Like,
No.
But no, I definitely need to check that out. I've been meaning to. But it's funny though because when I was growing up, my mom never wanted me to watch Chucky. I had to like sneakingly go and like watch it whenever it was on TV. So, but now she can't tell me not to watch it. So
I'm like, she's listening, so
I will check it. I know she can hear me. I know she can hear me.
What are you listening to it there?
No, Chucky in my house.
Right? I just want to, before we end this, I just want to talk about two things that recently happened. Is it Calvina Collier? She was a flight attendant for Blue.
Oh,
you heard about
not
that?
Elmo.
So, right, she got fired.
Not no more. Not no more.
So for those that don't know, she said that she was kidnapped. She went. Okay, let me start from the beginning. She went to Jamaica. She went to Jamaica for a vacation with her and her girlfriend. Upon leaving, her friends tested negative. She tested positive. So she had to quarantine for 2 days. Went online saying that they kidnapped her. She's in some hotel with cameras.
Right.
And her mom is coming down to get her out and all this thing.
Very controversial story. And to be honest, I don't have all the details. I did stumble across it while browsing on like Instagram and stuff. There's a lot of like there was a few celebrities who spoke out on it and were like, she's an idiot. I saw a little clip. I don't know if it was a housekeeper or management, someone who worked at the hotel who went in the room. Like apparently she had said that one of the sensors in the hotel room was a hidden camera and all different types of things. Like, but I definitely need to look into that story more because it sounds very interesting.
It's an interesting story. It's a very interesting story. Like she went online for like I think it was an hour just saying they kidnapped me. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I tested negative on my test. I shouldn't be here. I should be on the plane back to the States. It was just the whole thing, and it was just
like I doubt they really want to keep you there, but
exactly.
And
every Caribbean country has that.
Right. Exactly.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Once you go in and you're leaving, you have to come with a negative.
Right. Because just imagine if for whatever reason they didn't find out that she was positive, and she, you know, she mingled. She took a taxi. Taxi driver now has COVID, or she goes onto the plane, and there's hundreds of people who now potentially have COVID. And I think it should have been a given that, hey, because you tested positive, like you will have to stay here until, you test negative. You chose to go there. And I think that that should have kind of been common sense, but
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a weird time. It's a weird time to be alive.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a comment today that that if she went to a bunch of other countries, she wouldn't have played the fool like that and tried to make a mockery of them. And that it goes to the attitude towards some of the Caribbean islands that people from from Canada, the United States, Britain, even amongst ourselves, like I think apparently her mother's Jamaican, and even like
oh really?
And even though I saw that we don't claim her, but but people, it lends to this attitude that we have when we're dealing with our own.
Right.
We don't treat it with the same respect, and then when there's something you don't agree with, you can bash that group, that person, that country, and people may tend to believe it because of the country, the group, or the person that it is. And when you find out that it's a lie, it's really bad. Like it's really bad, And so I'm glad she got turfed, because if you're, she would have likely got turfed from anywhere. But thinking that you work for an airline and you're gonna make those kind of claims.
JetBlue don't want you on there with your COVID on their plane, so
that's right.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Exactly.
So, unless you got your own private jet.
She thought she could gorilla glue.
And even so.
Gorilla glue.
You know what I mean? Like you can wind your way into some pity. Nah. No.
That's funny.
Because people got their investigative report thing going.
Of course. We're bored. That's all we're going to be doing.
Exactly.
We're bored.
You got to be careful out here nowadays, man. Like the shade room post stuff in 0.2 seconds.
Exactly.
You got to be careful out here in these streets.
Exactly.
Your business will be out there like that.
Like that.
Yeah, man. You look at the comments and they'll be like, "Oh, she lives in this city and she did it." It's like, what in the? How did she get all that information?
It's not hard to find. It's literally not that hard to find.
Apparently.
A lot of things are public record nowadays.
In the States, especially.
That's true. Even when it's not supposed to be.
Exactly.
In the States,
again,
especially.
That's just the way it is right now. So you got to really be careful how you maneuver out here.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we're gonna bring it down on a somber informational note right now. So we'll bring it up again before we end it, because I don't want to stay here.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
So what we do. I gotta be real though. So since we're in the Caribbean islands, I don't know if you guys heard the story about Andrea Bahet in Trinidad. She was out with a few friends and she didn't come home. They found her a week later, dead on the side of the road.
Ew.
Is this the one who had got thrown over like a bridge or something?
No.
I apologize if my details are wrong. I might be thinking about something completely different.
You're probably thinking something. Yeah. It was a big thing in Trinidad for like a good 2 weeks.
I'm trying to think, because that sounds similar, but it could possibly be something different. And like her body was already like decomposed and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that the? I think it's the same story.
Oh, Andrea Barat?
Yes, Barat. Yeah.
Was she like 23 or something?
Yes, I did see something about that.
Yeah. So I just want, since the news isn't talking about it, I just thought we'd bring attention to it. Just kind of get it out there. So Trinidad, I wrote this down because I don't want to get any facts wrong. So Trinidad is facing a gender-based violence crisis. 416 women went missing in 2020. 535 women went missing in 2019. 45 women were murdered in 2020. 552 cases of sexual assault. That only includes those that came forward. Yeah, and 1 in 3 women and girls have reported that they've suffered abuse suffered abuse, and 29% said that they have experienced both sexual and physical assault. So I feel like that's something that Trinidad, they've had many um, protests about it already. Like
Mm-hmm.
almost every day, I've had a protest. They want to call attention to the government for just to get the transportation something that girls can be get into using. Because once you get
Mm-hmm.
into that taxi, you don't know what that driver is going to do. Like there's no
That's true.
background check in Trinidad. I don't know if any other country um, is like that, but I
Do
just
any
wanted
of
to
the
call
viewers
attention
have
to.
any comments? Are you guys familiar with this story?
Mm-hmm.
It looks
What?
like I'm looking at this article. It says hundreds of Trinidad businesses to close today in
Yeah,
solidarity
500.
over.
Yeah, 500 businesses closed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that needs to be called attention into Trinidad, and I feel like more
Right.
news outlets should cover it. Um, so I just thought we kind of help out and just kind of put it out there, just call everyone attention to that.
So what kind of issue is it then? I'm just like, really not a government issue. She did all the right things. That was a H taxi, meaning registered taxi.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so are there
Wow.
laws to have like a background check or some kind of check?
Well, I
So
would
who?
assume if it's a registered taxi, that they would have to
Mm-hmm.
have some sort of background check, correct?
No.
Right.
So somebody got
Yeah, I don't.
charged.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Negus
Yeah.
George.
Yeah. Not my
What's
cousin.
disturbing is that he had a long rap sheet of rapes.
Yeah.
And that's a
Oh
big thing.
Lord.
That's a big thing
Mm-hmm.
back home and in the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who do these sorts of things, and they just blink and they just put it on the back burner. They don't
Exactly.
they don't address these things, which is very, very sad. You hear these stories
Mm-hmm.
all the time in a
Yeah.
lot of different Caribbean countries.
Mm-hmm.
And was in the public working as a hired taxi. Yeah. And the thing is,
Yeah.
there's politicians that do these things,
Mm-hmm.
people in academics,
Yeah.
a lot of people who are in authority tend to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then it just
So it's
doesn't get
pretty.
dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty safe to say that,
It's the hiring
and
process to blame.
it's safe to say, and it's likely common knowledge, at least to us being here with our lens of the government, that they are quite behind
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of the islands when it comes to hiring practices.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And
When
like,
it
for
comes to even
instance,
just the overall protection and the importance of the safety of vulnerable people
yeah. And
and women.
actually, we had a similar situation um, back in Nevis like a few months ago,
Mm-hmm.
where an individual called out a guidance counselor who's worked
Mm-hmm.
on the island and within the schools for years and years, and there's always been like allegations and different things that have come up, and something would come up or he'd do something to a student and they moved him to another school, and then something would come up and then
Mm.
they'd move him to another school. And
Wow.
Right.
this happened for decades, right? Until
Wow.
someone spoke up about it and
Yeah.
kind of brought it up. And then you hear the stories, and lots of people that I went to school with, like, he was a guidance counselor when I went to primary school, and
Right.
none of the teachers ever came to us and say like, hey, this is what's going on. When certain things came about,
Mm-hmm.
they just never talked about it. It was the parents, it was people in the community who were saying, stay away from this person.
Right.
And when it sort of came back up, it was actually his own daughter who talked about the abuse,
Wow.
and the different things that he did. So that was the thing. And again, it's sad. You see it all the time. It's a
Mm-hmm.
huge issue
Mm-hmm.
back home, and it's something that they definitely need to look into. But again, how do you do that when, again, a lot of the people who are engaging in this behavior are people who are in authority,
They're
right?
the lawmakers.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, can somebody
So-
shed light for if you know just the systems that are in place or the lack thereof in some of these islands. He should just said here the family should sue the taxi company, and I'm not sure, but I just have a feeling like that's not a thing in
It's not a thing.
in Trinidad or in like I just don't
Any
see
other
that being a
Caribbean
thing.
country. Yeah, it's not a thing. It's not
Maybe
a
if
thing.
it was like
It's quicker for you to get let off with finding the people's family and beating them than it is like to taking
Yeah.
them to court.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well,
But I just thought I'd get that info out there, kind of share it with everyone.
that's some tragic
Yeah.
statistics that you just read out there.
It
Wow.
is, but it's important to bring to light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just about
for sure.
Tanya says there's no taxi company. I was gonna say that the only way that would happen is if it was like a self-owned business, which majority of them.
So you mean like a taxi?
So it's
then
not like Uber. It's not like Uber or co-op or anything like that.
Well, it's kind of like Uber because you could be like it's your own. You just aren't governed by anybody above. Because it would be then if she said it was an H taxi, so it means it's registered. So that would mean you can buy a car, register it as a taxi, and then start driving around as a taxi?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That easy.
There were also other bodies found. So that's a common dumping ground?
That's a common dumping ground, yeah.
That's crazy.
Father God.
Yeah. I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was in Arima.
Yeah.
And do we know, well, I mean, depends on how long the bodies were there and, you know, how deep they got into the investigation. Like, do we know if it was other young girls, other females? Was it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Were there, like, male corpses there as well? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just like wow.
Yeah. But
the lens is different when you're here.
Yeah,
when you're here looking at it with Canadian eyes, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we're kind of going to our second hour mark, so
yes.
I feel like
we didn't
good
start on time. And
thanks everybody for sticking with us so long.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your comments. Love how engaged all of you were tonight.
Yes. Thank you.
Feels good to be back.
So we'll be working on some of the kinks.
Yes,
and,
for sure.
But make sure to join us again next week. Same time.
Next week for sure. Same time, not same time, 7 p.m.
Yes.
Abdul just coming through.
Abdul.
Oh my God. Welcome back, y'all. It's been a slice. Thank you. I'm late though. Yes, you are. You'll have to catch us next week. You'll have to catch us next week. Or just this will be up on the page, right? This is live, but
it'll be on the page.
Yeah, so then you can check it out on your own time.
Yeah.
You snooze, you lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
No robots. I think we need a robot.
Mom, we're gonna watch Child's Play this weekend, okay? So get ready. Get ready.
June, we're watching it at your house.
I'll get all the snacks together and
make sure you have a mask, everybody.
We'll get Google to set the mood and turn the lights down low.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes.
Alrighty, guys.
Thank you all for watching.
Good conversation.
Yes, good conversation. We're gonna do it again next week. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, put it in the page
or any feedback.
Facebook.
Again, we're still kind of
feedback. Yes,
working out the kinks with the new platform. So
yeah. How did you guys like it? I want to know that.
Yes.
How did you guys like it? Tim and Kiki.
It is different.
How do you guys? Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I don't have to wear.
I'm trying to get used to it on my end. Right?
Yes, it does. It does definitely take some getting used to, especially like the technical aspect of things, like our sound and I got the mic here, we got the lights. We're still trying to make it proper.
We're trying to ting, man.
We're trying to ting. We're trying to ting.
So, but I like how the thing comes through, like the slide ins. Those are dope. Those are nice. I like that.
Wait, this you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and actually you can like add like the topics at the bottom and stuff. So again, we'll figure it out.
Look, I'll
figure it out.
Hold on. We'll figure it out.
But no, it's dope. I like it. I like it. It's a learning process, and it's only up from here. So
Yes,
that's
for sure.
definitely we'd love to get the feedback for sure. Again, I
Mhm.
got to work on my camera view here a little bit, but
It's all good. I just want to say
once
I
you guys
missed
can hear
guys.
us, that's important. So
I'm
hopefully,
sure.
hopefully audio was good. Like you guys sound pretty good, like based off what I can hear. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, I missed you
I
guys. It was good to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm glad we got to do it up again, and thanks to everybody that stuck it out with us.
Yes,
All the
thank you.
comments were dope. All the information was
And
fantastic.
let everyone know that we are back and to join in
Yes.
next week, or just to
Yes.
check out this episode on our Facebook page.
Yes, for sure. All right, guys. You have
All right,
a good night.
everybody, have
Everyone
a
stay
good night.
safe. Stay
Stay
warm.
safe. Yep.
Yes. Take care.
And
And don't
see you next
dance with
week.
Miss COVID. Leave her alone.
Yes, try your best to,
Please.
please.
Leave her
Please.
alone.
Mhm.
She's
Please.
no good.
No
All
good,
right,
especially
everybody.
with variants and stuff. But yes, have
All
a good
right.
night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.